And I'm singing his song. Birds on three bird feet, love to be the robin go tweet tweet. Rock 'em up, rock 'em up. So rock the robin, really gonna rock me now. We'll the pretty face. Talk to my penny from where. The outback, the pearl, and the Oreo. He rocks in the beat up all day long. I'm singing a bumping and I'm singing a song. Rockin' rock. Those rockin' gonna rock tonight.
Oh, you're fine.
That couldn't get back in. Like, yeah, yeah.
I'm tethering, yes.
Okay.
Um,
Someone told me how to get on last time. Maybe we just need an update.
I think you got on, but I couldn't.
Okay, she gave me a special like password. Or she
Special
came,
pass-
not special, but she's like, oh, try this one. Maybe it was her personal one.
I don't know, but
So that makes sense.
I can text you what they gave.
I wonder if it's still saved on my computer.
Try. It's a weird one, if I remember.
Maybe even text it to me. Emily's told me, not Emily. One day, I'll stick one up, but it's on track, still accepting. Some, but they had us yesterday. Yeah, like the love. Yeah. The only thing is. I'm just talking. Music under.
I'm gonna miss
you?
her.
Oh, tired. Was babysitting 4-year-old Dave. And I made some salsa to sell and what else? Had a Zoom meeting. But not as busy as you. You do stay. You know, what I was thinking is, can I just go ahead and start passing these out?
Yes. Hey, everybody, while we're all getting ready, Marina from Christina Morales' office is gonna pass out a survey for you, so just casually work through that through the evening. And also just a reminder, if you are hard of hearing, you might want to come sit up front to make sure that you can hear. So if you want to take a moment to do that, that would be fantastic. Hi. Good, how are you?
See, I wondered if you chaired this meeting.
Yeah, I do.
Chair every meeting.
Why? Why?
On the side town.
Why not?
I think it meeting one.
No, they have events. We have extra pens. People have a hand survey and I hope they have pens Pens for. Yeah, there's a survey. Let me see if I hope I have a couple. Might have a couple. I might have one. That for your surveys, I have 2 pens I can spare.
It's okay.
I got 2. Start people.
They really are. How's everything going with you?
I haven't seen him for a long time. He's been out of the military, makes him unfair.
All right, everybody, we're gonna go ahead and get started because we want to make sure we end on time. And as y'all know, I'm going to dump every bit of information that I can on y'all. So welcome to the May Eastwood Civic Association meeting. I appreciate everybody being here. And we know that the projector is, we're doing the best we can. As the lights dim a little, or I say the sun goes down, we should be able to see a little bit better. So as we are getting started, we're gonna calling to order officially right now at 6:36 p.m. We're gonna do some intros, meeting agreements, welcome everybody. Then we'll hear from our elected officials, candidates for office, treasurer report, secretary report. Then we're gonna go into our keynote speaker, which is the East End District, talking about the McKinney Sidewalk Project. I have a lot of updates for y'all, so we're gonna go through that. And then the announcements, and we will adjourn from there. So raise your hand if this is, I'm not gonna make you introduce yourself, I swear. Is this your first time to an Eastwood Civic Association meeting? Hooray! We are so thankful that you're here, and we hope that you find this meeting so valuable that you want to return. So, so one of the things that we pride ourselves on is just being a well-organized group, right? And just being very, very kind to everybody that we are working with. So just a reminder of our meeting agreements. We want to assume positive intent, right? You're all neighbors, we're all friends, we're all doing the best we can, and we all really care what's best for the neighborhood, right? So speak with respect. I don't see any situation coming up out of this meeting, but just a reminder, speak with respect. We want to refrain from profanity or just using wrong names and things like that. We don't want to do that. Be critical of the problem, not the person, right? We're all here to do the right thing for our neighborhood. Sometimes that route can be different based on your perspective. Ponder what you feel and hear before you speak. Want to be sure that we're thinking about the impacts of what you might say. Trust ambiguity, because we are not here to debate who is right and wrong. Sometimes there may not be a right answer one way or another. So we'll just kind of walk through that. And be mindful of time, because we do, if y'all know anything about me, I'm going to give you a lot of updates. So is there anything else we should add before we continue? I know that there's a few folks that have come in kind of at the end. If you have, or kind of just recently, that's great, that's fine, welcome. But if you are hard of hearing, I do suggest moving up, because sometimes I think there's a little echo towards the back. Cool, all right. So we do have two, well, Marina, oh, there she is. She's running around here. So we do have Marina from Christina Morales' office, if you want to say hello. And then we also have Mason from Senator Alvarado's office.
Hi, everybody. Marina Guerra with Representative Christina Morales' office. I'm her community liaison. So I just passed out a survey with an expired QR code, which I was aware of. So this is why we passed it out. What I am going to ask, if you can physically fill it out whenever you get a chance. I have a few pens. If you'd like to do that while you're here during the meeting, because I would really like to pick it up and take it with me. However, if that is not possible, if you will.
You can give it to me and I'll take it.
Give it to Lindsay and I'll collect it from her. So this is a survey on behalf of Christina Morales for you to address any concerns or anything you'd like to see differently. So we encourage everybody to be part of the thinking process, help us move forward. And she's also always very receptive. So please, if you can, take the time to fill that out. If you would rather do it online, there is an opportunity for that. I just need to get your information, preferably email address at least, to send you what you need, and we can do it that way as well. And lastly, we are still promoting Small Business Saturday. I think this is Small Business Week. So please, if you can support small businesses. I didn't bring those. No, I do have a few flyers, so I'll leave them here. They do have a QR code, and that is not supposed to be expired. And that's it. Thank you.
Mason, did you want to say hello?
I have a bit that I've been doing, but I'm gonna try and shorten it. Hey, y'all, my name is Mason. I'm here from the office of your state Senator Carol Alvarado. And when I was coming here tonight, I was thinking about what I was gonna talk about with the Eastwood Civic Association. Like Lindsay said, this is one of the more well-organized and smooth clubs out of all the civic clubs that we have, which is, we have somewhere between 40 and 60. And I thought about something that I used to do when I worked with another legislator. He was from down in the Rio Grande Valley. And we had a program called There Ought to Be a Law. We would reach out to all the high schools within the district and we would solicit from the 11th and 12th graders ideas about things for which there ought to be a law. We would collect all the responses and we would decide which was the best. We would actually write that into a piece of legislation, file it, and try and pass it in the next legislative session. Now, none of those bills ever passed, for better or for worse, but I thought it was a great way to get kids involved in the legislative process. You know, that was down in Edinburgh, Texas, and Austin can be pretty far away. But I want to bring that back, but I want to bring it back with our civic clubs. So I've been going around and asking the various clubs, can y'all think of anything for which there ought to be a law? I think the best pieces of legislation that we author, that we push, that we pass every session come from ordinary people, people who aren't lobbyists, people who aren't legislative professionals, people who saw something in their community that they think could be fixed or improved. And without putting anyone on the spot, I just want to know, does anybody have any ideas right off the bat? Have you got one? Or, yeah, we can talk after, prefer, but. Right. That's a good one. Right. Yeah. Would it surprise you to learn you're not the first person to bring that up at one of these civic clubs?
I would even add to that, but, that I know this sounds really bad, but like they need to have a standardized criteria for taking over and exiting, not just, kind of whatever. And also, a time frame for when they decide to close schools, that there's enough community community input, I should say.
Yes, I think it's a ripe issue, given that so many more takeovers have begun.
Y'all need to stop slamming that happened to me, and I know that that's something Alvarado's office had tried before.
What did we do?
This was a really unique situation, y'all, but I turned out it's actually really crazy. So somebody signed up for electricity at somebody, like, you know, when they hand out, they're like, here, sign up, change your energy plan. Well, somebody put my address instead of theirs. And then they realized it was the wrong address and then they canceled it, which meant my electricity got turned off. And it took 24 hours for my electricity to come back on, and it was of no fault of mine.
When did this happen?
2 years, a year ago. So
What's it called?
it's called slamming.
You think someone did this to you intentional?
No.
Oh,
I think it was an accident. I think they were moving in down the street, got the address wrong, cancel it.
wow. That's a good one. Let's connect on that a little bit later. But Ian, I kind of figured. Okay. All right, I like that one.
I got one for you after on, state health services, but it's very niche.
So very niche, we'll talk about later?
Yeah.
All right, good. Anybody else? Well, I didn't intend to give everybody homework, but I'll be here next month. Unless something comes up, I plan to be, and I'll probably ask the same question again. So I'm looking forward to hearing all y'all's ideas next month. Again, my name is Mason. I'm from the office of your state senator, Carol Alvarado. I hand it back to you.
Cool, thank you. All right, so speaking of electeds, we do have precinct 6 here. I don't know if you wanted to say hello at minimum, if you just have anything you want to share. We'll give you a couple minutes.
A scam.
You might want to speak because it's hard to hear at the back.
I'm Lieutenant Clark with Constable Trevino's office, and I passed out a piece of paper that has a scam that we're highlighting for the month. This has been an ongoing scheme. This is nothing new, but we've seen an increase. And they're actually using AI now. They may call, they talk to you like a telemarketer, but they're gathering your voice. Or they're gathering your loved one's voice. And then they're turning around and calling. So when it's in a panicked state, like it states on there, it makes you really think it's a family member. They could be claiming an emergency. I'll get you one of the sheets. They have extra on the table over there. And it sounds like that. Well, we need you to pay this amount, either, you know, get them out of jail or to bond them out or the sentence, something, or they're in the hospital and we need you to go ahead and pay right now so we can start immediate treatment. So those are some of the things to look out for. Anybody asking a gift card or a credit card over the phone and they're acting like it's urgent, hold on, let me get you to speak to the doctor. Hold on, let me get you to speak to our supervisor, whether a police officer, you know, when they're calling with that. So it's something to be mindful of. If they say they're with HPD, they say they're with our office, let me call you right back, then call our dispatch. If they tell you they're with HPD, well, let me call HPD. There's nothing that urgent. Or then turn around, and call the family member they're pretending. So tell you, no, don't hang up with me. Time is of the essence. You know, don't tell anybody. They want it to be a secret. So those are things to be mindful of. So I pass those out. Those are, you know, like a safety tip scam that's going on. We have seen an increase. So thank you all.
I appreciate that. All right, and just a reminder that I know that there's been a few people that have come in a little late. If you are hard of hearing, we know that it can be a little echoey in the back and it may be difficult to hear. So if you want to move up, that might be helpful for you. And I just wanted to double check. Did you want to say hello? Yeah.
Hello, all. I'm Jovan Tyler. I will be hello. How are you? Good to see you. I will be a candidate next year for Houston City Council. I'll be running for one of the at-large seats. There will be one open seat, and then the other 4 will have incumbents. And so, depending on how slew of things go, I'll figure out exactly which seat I'll be running for. But some of you all know me because I've come to a couple of super neighborhood meetings, and I'm big on politicians showing up and listening. And so that's what I'll be doing tonight, listening. Once again, Jovan Tyler.
Cool, thank you. Appreciate that. All right, so we are going to go through our treasurer's report with Matthew, and then we will hear from Catherine on our secretary's report.
Good evening, everyone. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Matt Donovan, and I am the treasurer for the Eastwood City Association. And what we do every meeting is give you an update of where our funds are and give you transparency. So right now we have $27,913.87. We spend a little bit over $4,400 on a couple things. Every year will donate a portion of the proceeds from our Eastwood home tour. This year we've donated $2,500 that supports 2 $1,250 scholarships for residents of the East End. We've also had to pay for some not so fun stuff like our insurance and some more fun stuff like our spring fiesta. And you can see here that we've had a lot of income lately. Made $13 in the last 2 months, so things are going pretty good. And that's it. Do y'all have any questions? Okay, thank you.
Cool, thank you. All right, we're going to move to Catherine. Come on up.
Hi, I'm Catherine Santa Maria. I am the secretary on the Eastwood Civic Association board. And the minutes from the last meeting, we had Councilmember Martinez give an update. The Harris County Flood Control District was the speaker. And we talked about HISD school closures, Metro Fair updates, street improvements, minimum lot size, and minimum building line updates. Before we met today, we've had a board of directors meeting, or 2 board of directors meeting, and April was very busy for the ECA. We had Land Trip movie night in coordination with Land Trip Elementary School, a Coffee and Conversations meetup, our egg hunt for the kids in Eastwood Park, and Spring Fiesta, which many of you attended. Thank you.
Thank you. I just need a quick motion to pass motion to pass the minutes or approve the minutes from last meeting. I need a second. Second, all in favor? Any opposed? You can't say aye and oppose. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get into our update. So we're gonna talk through the East End District McKinney Sidewalk Project. And then these are just so that y'all know what's coming afterwards. We're going to talk about the City of Houston budget, solid waste pickup, heavy trash pickups, voting information, FIFA road closures, and super neighborhood updates. So go ahead and say hello to our friends in the East End District and Goodman, who are going to be talking about the sidewalk project on McKinney. You can let me know which slides or you can push them, it's fine.
I'm just gonna go ahead and introduce myself and then pass it on to my partner, but my name is J.C. Bullen. I work for the East End District. I'm the construction manager on the McKinney project.
Hi, I'm Victoria Magdaleno, and I'm serving as the Director of Planning and Infrastructure of the Eastwood District. And we're very grateful to be here again. I know I see some familiar faces from the December meeting that we were able to join, and we have some really fun updates. I'm gonna let Jason fill you in.
Thank you, Victoria. So just wanted to give you an update. Yes, we were here back in December to talk about the project and what we had going on. Since then, project has been rebid and it's been approved for construction. So we wanted to let you know that the project will be starting. Well, we sent the NTP out today, so they plan to mobilize next week. So we're going to be starting at Cullen and McKinney, and we're going to be working our way east on the north side. Do you have anything, Victoria?
Just a quick clarification, you guys might have seen some construction out there already. We just wanted to make it clear that that's the city of Houston overlay job at the moment. There will be a little bit of overlap by maybe a week. We were told that their work should wrap up by the beginning of next week. So they should be working in the area between Lockwood, Walford, and Dublin. So that is not us, but we will be coming in soon, so not to be confused. But our folks, the contractors, Metro City, so you might see some of their logos on their machinery. That's gonna be the project near East District.
So we'll be sending out door tags to the residents when they're gonna be starting construction. So the way that it'll work is we're not gonna be doing the whole sidewalk at one time. We're gonna be doing it in sections. So the contractor is gonna be putting out name tags at, a number of homes, do the work, and then they, move over, keep moving eastward till they finish the project. The project is slated to be 6 months, but we're hoping to get it done before that. So we're working very closely with the contractor to try to fast track the project. Anything else? Just want to go to the slides? Okay, you can go ahead and go to the slides. First, can you go back?
Oh, sorry. There you go.
So
Very good.
So the project is going to start. This is Cullen right here in McKinney, and it's gonna work its way eastward all the way down to Dumbledore. So again, 6 months, we're hoping to get it done, hopefully for 6 months, weather permitting, things like that. So yes, ma'am. Block 1 on McKinney. Where?
Right on the right side.
Right here?
It's at the very end.
No, the other side,
Talking near Little Danny's.
yes,
Down here?
that's one. And when that's part of the, well, it was not. That's.
Say that again. You said it wasn't on the. Yes. Got it. So that project is a City of Houston project. So we weren't aware of, honestly, that project until maybe 3 weeks ago. Correct, when the sign went up. So the City of Houston didn't even coordinate with us on the project. So now the reason for the other side, this is kind of like the scope limits that we have. I don't really have a concrete response to why that was in there, but I know this connects to the transportation corridor. Hence the reason why we selected this block and this northern side of the block also. We also did do work on Walker and Eastwood. So, and that was also connected to transportation. So.
What is the scope, you say sidewalks, that curves, that driveway imprints, or is it just purely just a sidewalk?
So it'll be driveways, curbs, and sidewalks. Some curbs, not all curbs, mainly driveways and sidewalks.
We noticed that in the middle overlay, some of the roads at curb level.
Yeah.
And so if we'll address some of that and replacements for those curves.
Yes, we will. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to coordinate City of Houston, but we'll try our best to do that, yes. Not our fault. Next slide.
Oh, yep.
So, yeah, Our focal points are the trees, upgrading and replacing sidewalks, intersections and the corners, and protecting the historic street markers. So on the corner of Eastwood and McKinney, there's a street marker, to give an example. So we're going to do our best to make sure to protect that. You know, that's historic, a piece of historic street marker. So we want to do our best to protect that and make sure that it's, there moving forward. Any questions? All right, so again, the FTA funding source, it's connecting transit stops, accessible path for ADA mobility impaired to bring up to ADA compliance. We really spent a lot of time in the design phase focusing on preserving the trees and widening the sidewalks. So the sidewalks are currently 4 feet and they're going to 5 feet. Rebuilding driveways and right of way, installing street lighting, upgrading curb ramps, and improving curb conditions.
So I had a question about that. So now that there's been a mill and overlay project that has raised a lot of the portions that were previously low, is there going to be a reassessment of the grading now that the grading street has changed?
Yes,
Account for that?
yes, we'll be looking at that and work with the engineering team
Yep.
on making sure that that's coordinated.
Yes.
I'm sorry? Did you want to take that?
So currently, the contract amount is just over $460,000. And I have not coordinated with the contractor if there is an incentive for them to finish early, but they are aggressive because they have several contracts that they've closed. And this is one of the ones that they feel confident that they can do pretty quickly.
If, back to 5, 6 years. Like the neighborhood. For the. Like, say, if something brings across that upsetting, that section where streets not gonna be on the sidewalk.
So I've been getting this question a lot because the East End District is trying to do these things to connect people to business corridors. And that's the East End District is focused on improving business corridors, right? And so something to keep in mind is that the city, so when the East End District goes for these types of projects, they have to spell out their specific scope. And the dollars that they receive have to go to that specific scope. It's not as flexible. It's just like doing a change order and just adding something different. And they got those dollars from a grant. So otherwise, any additions would have to come from East End District budget, or they'd have to come from your budget. Because right now, the way that the sidewalks work is once they are built, they are the responsibility of the homeowner, which you can agree or disagree. Because trust, I disagree. I think that should be city stuff, but that's not an argument that we should be debating today, right? I do know that there's some options out there. I've heard of other neighborhoods getting new sidewalks, but they do not get them in bulk. They get them in little pieces, and it usually takes quite a bit of effort. And when I say quite a bit of effort, like if we were to get everything signed today, designed today, funded today, they may not be able to start on that for 2 or 3 years. So it's just one of these things that just takes a really long time. It's incredibly frustrating. It can, it's just going to take a lot of effort. I overheard another neighborhood just about a week ago that got new sidewalks through what they call the Safe Sidewalk application. I found 2 online that I don't know if they are relevant in this particular case. I know that there's mostly for elderly people with disabilities, and then there's another one to add new sidewalks where there are no sidewalks. And so I'm trying to figure out what that budget is, because that would have to come out of the district council member's budget, most likely. And I don't know what his budget is for adding new sidewalks in neighborhoods.
I submitted a request for that like 4 years ago, and I never.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of effort, a lot of follow-up, and a lot of work on that front. Right.
So I called, and I think I spoke to like 3 different people, and nobody could tell me, scope of the project, how far down it to the goal, was it gonna stop?
Yep. If you knew how much effort it took me to dig that information up, you'd be appalled. And I did learn that it was approved to be done in July 2023. And that was just something I happened to find based on that UBS code and also just some help from friends in the city. I was able first to see the first from Cullen to Lockwood and then from Lockwood to Dumble, but I did not see any other street in Eastwood with that specific project. They had other streets that were associated with it, but they were not in our area. It was like it's like a group of streets. So, and I've been asking repeatedly, like, what is the criteria for a street to get a mill and overlay? Because some streets are getting them that maybe didn't necessarily need them. And then there are some streets that desperately need them and they're left behind. So I have not gotten a satisfactory response to that. I continue to ask every single chance I get because there's just suddenly a whole bunch of mill and overlays and I don't know how they're being decided or what's going on with it. So going through downtown is probably a great example of that right now. So we're doing the best we can to get all this information. It's just we're working with working with the city on as much as we can. But I would suggest looking at that safe sidewalk application. See if you can apply for it. I mean, we would support anybody getting your sidewalk, so we're on board with it. Sorry. I just know that question comes up a lot.
Thank you. That's great. I did want to take a minute to introduce Ashish. He is the engineer of record on this project. Yes, and he has been closely involved and a dear friend. And I feel like he's the best person on this type of project. He has an extensive amount of experience in this type of work. So if there's any questions as y'all are proceeding, we just approved the project sign and I put our office's number. You are not bugging at all. Please call. And this is actually on my way into the office. I am a proud Easton resident. And so I'm making it a point to go down McKinney every day. So please call with anything that you guys may see. I'm happy to help and we can work through these problems that might arise as things move along. Yes, it's actually my favorite way to go. I turn on double. I live off of Telephone and Lockwood. So I go all the way down. Yes. I will confirm that it's not part of this project, but I think they recently overlaid the city job and I think they need to put back pavement marking. At least that's my professional.
They're
opinion.
supposed to do that next. They're supposed to go all up down McKinney. We've been asking because we want to make our own adjustments. And and that includes the pavement markings across Lockwood from what I understand.
I think it might be on a similar mindset. So given that the paint has not gone down on McKinney through the mill and overlay, and that y'all have a similar project coming up, does Easton District have any sway over where that paint goes down in terms of narrowing streets for speed control or anything like that?
I want to say that the answer is probably no. I'm going to defer to our expert here. I think the answer is no, right, Ashish?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, I figured that, but I figured it's worth asking.
There is a perfect. We look at it. That's all it sounds like. Maybe y'all look at it. Very nice.
I will say that median, that little worktop median is being redone. I want to look to Ashish to confirm and keep me honest. Did you want to take this one, Ashish?
Yeah, I think that's in front of the school. Is that the one we're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we are redoing that area to align it. That's kind of requirement for the project. So we'll redo most part of that. Yeah, it's connected to.
Oh, you know what's going on? Sorry, I'm talking to myself. Sorry, go ahead.
Jason might have hit on this, but we are anticipating a 6-month duration of construction. That puts us right at home. So I'm hopeful that we'll get that in before, so you guys can retreat.
So while Lucy's doing that, I just kind of want to reiterate what she was saying, that the money it just moves slow. Right, this money that we are spending now, about approved in 24. right? So it takes time, right? So once we get the money, we hire engineer, design, then we get a contractor to work. So the money's just, once it gets approved, just don't go, so we're here right now, so. It's kind of one for the community over there.
Yeah, I think it was very honest, it's the patient between her group and. So we need to make the, policy is for that. We should be going down.
Now, I can't speak for the city, but I will say, one of the efforts that I'm trying to do in the Eastern District is to map out all of the active infrastructure projects that are happening in the district. Now, that has been an undertaking, and I will say this has been with the help of your president, Lee. She did scour the internet of everything we could find that would not be readily available to us, so we're kind of taking it into our own hands. Try and comb through everything that we can, so that we know, one, what's going on, how long it's going on, but really how much dollars are being invested on this side of town. We constantly get questions by developers saying, I want to know how many dollars. And quite frankly, it's probably up in the near billions on this side of town specifically. So that's something that we've been trying to figure out and comb through so that we can have one place where all of these different entities, all the different projects, how much we're spending, so that it helps all of our community know where we are. So I can't speak for the city, but I will say we're taking a little ownership when it comes to that, just trying to figure it out.
What would the city, we should start the city coordinate. Yeah, he's working to that. We should do that out of catalog of things. Kind of myself.
In a perfect world, yes.
He said it's more, that's maybe top, that's what this was. To manage your, that's all. She doing this, but not coordinating, she doesn't. Exactly, I'm taking them, the process. The more fair. Some people, focus to be that. Whereas the project is really wrong, the problems are really ahead. Maybe for the over.
Yes, so she can move to that.
I got one here and then we can,
Yeah.
it does not appear so. Yep.
The best thing I can say is that we did have that question when the pre-con happened. The contractor said that they can confidently get through 3 driveways in one day. So I would say maybe about 3 houses at a time, because they don't want to put anyone out too long. And they also mentioned that they can get it done within 48 hours, and they will be communicating. So those door knockers will be on y'all's doors soon in English and in Spanish. And if there is any issue with that, please feel free to call us, because I'm more than happy to start blowing this phone. Does that answer your question? Oh, and then, I mean, last but certainly not least, we are aware of the really beautiful, large, mature oak trees in the area, and we're very respectful. Ashish and his team has spent extensive amount of time making sure that the roots are protected. There will be some tree grades out there that you'll see installed that's to protect, to allow the tree roots to remain stable and healthy. And so there was a significant amount of time and consideration that went into that, so you might see that in the installation process. Is there anything you wanted to add, Ashish?
So I think that's pretty much all. Yeah, thank you.
And
If there's any questions, feel free to reach out to either the Eastern District Office, Jason, myself, and we'll involve Ashish if we need to, if it's a design consideration that we need to think through. Were there any questions about the project? Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And I just want to say thank y'all for coming out. As some of y'all may remember, there was a project on Walker that just went a little bit more chaotic than probably intended. So we do thank your proactiveness at coming out at multiple meetings to explain what was going on and just improving that communication. So we're really thankful for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure. All right. So there's a lot going on right now at the city. So what we're going to talk, just briefly mention, is that the city budget for fiscal year 2027 is coming out tomorrow. And this is important because you can see in this note right here, we are expecting a $127 million deficit, right? And so this is something that we learned at the super neighborhood meeting. We had Controller Hollins come out and speak and show us the details. It was a very thorough presentation. So if you actually do want to see it, I still have a copy. It's on our super neighborhood website. So you can see like what this looks like. You can see that the revenue was down 42 million, expenditures were up 10 million. And this is something also that has been, it's easy to see it in a graph, but it's been talked about quite a bit, right? So the general fund balance, like the city savings account, you can see that it's been decreasing over time. And that's been used in order to close the funding gap in a lot of situations. So this is what we're seeing for the projected end for fiscal year 2026, which ends in June, right? Is 354 million, which is quite a bit different from the 2024 at 567 million. So with that, yeah, you have to ask yourself, where are the dollars going, right? This is probably the best single slide I can show you. There are different types of funding sources that are out there, but the general fund is the one that you were seeing the information about, right? So enterprise funds like the airport, they generally fund themselves. Then there's other different types of funding like the Georgia Brown Convention Center, but this is the general fund. And you can see, I think the number was 61% goes to public safety, and that's Houston Fire and Houston Police. You can see what that looks like. You can agree or disagree. That's up to you as a constituent. These are your dollars, right? So this is something that you need to be thinking about, and something I think everybody should really take part in as part of this conversation. So that other one right there is called debt service. That means paying off a debt from a previous year, a previous administration, something along those lines. So that's dollars that we have to pay back. And then the 16 other departments, that's a hodgepodge of a lot of different other things. But you can see all of those together still do not come up to as much as the debt service, nor fire and police. And again, this is not a knock on anybody. Like, this is not like anything. It's just, that's just what it is, right? So you can also see that the trash pickup is 101 million. And that's, I mean, I think that we've all experienced some significant trash pickup issues, recycling pickup issues. That is citywide. That's not specific to us, but I have tried to make the case that it's worse in the East End on numerous occasions, because I hear on the Super Neighborhood Alliance meetings when one neighborhood says, oh my gosh, my heavy trash hasn't been picked up in 4 days. I'm like, oh, we haven't been picked up in 4 months. Where have you been? So that must be lucky 4 days. Anyway, so this is just kind of thinking about that. So trash pickup in parks only makes up 3% of that general fund, which that's up to you to decide if that is where it needs to be. So with that, there's going to be, we said the mayor is going to be announcing this budget tomorrow. Now, if you are kind of a dork like me, you better believe I got my hands on that. Me and Claude are about to be real good buddies, right? And so we're going to go through that budget and figure out, and also something, this is a Lindsay goal. This is not a civic association. This is not a super neighborhood goal. This is a Lindsay goal. I want equity in the dollars spent. I want to make sure that there are dollars spent in the East End fairly. That's a Lindsay specific goal. So with that, once it's out there, there's going to be a series of budget workshops, and I highly suggest you at least attend one. If you cannot attend that, I understand. Everybody's got jobs, you got things to do on board, but there is a budget survey that Council Member Alcorn has put out, and that is a really good one because she chairs the Budget and Fiscal Affairs Committee. So she's the one that's going to be overlooking and watching all of this. So the city only has about a month. They will vote on this budget on June 3rd. That means this is going to move very, very fast, okay? So with that, I actually have a QR code that if y'all want to fill out this budget survey, I highly suggest you do that. And I highly suggest you can do it. You're not going to hurt my feelings if you are filling this out during this meeting, all right? I understand. I don't think you're texting. I think you're filling out this form. So please take the time to do this, okay? Because we really want residents to have your voice, have your say in this. Because I think just over the years, people have kind of forgotten that you do have a voice. What you say actually matters. Make sure everybody got it. But yeah, everybody, your voice matters in these conversations, and we don't want to lose sight of that. And that comes for voting, that comes for these kinds of conversations, making sure you are heard. And I cannot stress that enough, because I can go to council a million times and it's not going to be as powerful as coming from y'all, right? So please, sorry. Yeah. Is this the East Water Plant thing? I have not heard anything like that, so I guess we'll find out tomorrow what that's gonna be. Some of the things I have heard, and again, these are just like things to keep an eye out for. Supposedly there's gonna be an introduction of a trash fee. Could be as low as $5, could increase up to 25. So be kind of on the lookout for what that would look like and what you feel about that. And then I've also heard that there's probably gonna be I've only heard about the East Water Plant and just dollars that need to go to that, but I haven't heard a specific number on that. And that one needs to happen. And so so just so that y'all kind of have like a framework of, we're in deep, y'all. So these are conversations we have pretty regularly, but the East Water Plant is in District I, and it sources something like 60 or 70% of the city. And I think I saw a number that said in the next 20 years, 95% of those assets are going to fail. Okay. And I'm not talking like a boil notice. We're talking no water. Okay. So there are going to be some pretty significant updates to that water plant, which when I saw that, I was like, okay, please take care of that, right? We don't want to lose our water. But that's just something to think about that is coming up. So just be on the lookout for those types of updates that are coming out. I know that this is really tiny, but I think we can probably put this out on socials. We can put it on the Super Neighborhood socials. These are just some budget workshops. Like there's a whole bunch of them listed here. If you want to walk up and get a picture, I am not going to be offended, but we can send them out too. So don't worry about it if you don't get them all the way. All right. So moving on, and please, again, please fill out that survey. Y'all can listen and fill things out. I am not upset about that. So solid waste, they were going to introduce a pickup on demand, and they recalled, said that they were not going to do that. They claimed they've gone back to their original schedule, whatever that means for us. So what they have done though, and I highly encourage you all to take this down when you can, they have introduced a customer service line to follow up a 311 request. So you put in your 311 request that your trash has not been picked up, you can call that number and follow up on it. So that number is 832-394-1453. And they're open from Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4:30. Yes.
The 311 that app, simple circumstances. But so any crossing, don't the house, they're like double facing front, back. So majority of the kitty, that side, trash comes in the back, they never get picked up. So go to that 311 app, and obviously file service, and then they miss the trash. So they would close it, say that, it's been completed, but the trash is there, they would pick those when they do the call.
So the way that I understand I'm not trying to discount what you're saying, but like sometimes I have seen, and I've argued against this as well, is 311 is it's like a call center. So they'll send it to the department and then consider it closed because they've sent it to the department. It infuriates me to no end. But I would suggest calling this number as well if that happens again, just because like we need to be holding them accountable for these things. And I cannot tell you how many times I've just walked my dog and put in 45 311 requests of just missed trash pickup, this heavy trash pickup, and we're like, it's like a 2-mile stretch. If you want, if you stay back just a bit, I'll give you my contact info and I'll give you a way to contact solid waste and management directly. because that should not happen. And I have told them that it happens, and I just need evidence that it happens. So if you've got it, let's tell them. So I want to make sure that they hear it from somebody other than me too. So I'll give you my contact info. All right. So because Lindsay, not associated with any organization, is tired of looking at trash, we are working with Harris County Precinct 2, Adrian Garcia's office, to do heavy trash pickups. So first thing we're going to do actually is it's not in our area directly. It's the Harrisburg Hike and Bike Trail. The Easton District did a youth leadership program, which was fantastic, right? You had these students from KIPP that came out and they wanted to be a part of the neighborhood, right? And so they came to me and asked me directly, can you help us get a pickup on Harrisburg Hike and Bike Trail, because we use that to walk and it's filled with trash. So I was like, yeah. And of course, Second Ward was like, yeah, if you want to organize it, fine. So we're working together with the organization, with Precinct 2, with Second Ward. Easton District's going to be providing snacks and everything. So they're going to come out, they're going to give us grabbers, they're going to pick up all the trash all along the Harris Hike and Bike Trail. So that's going to be on Main this Saturday at 9 a.m. There's going to be a bunch of students there to help pick up as well, which is, I personally think, is fantastic. Just getting, letting everybody know that their voice matters. Doesn't matter like how old they are, right? So that's going to come up. And then we have 2 in our super neighborhood, because y'all know we are a joint council. So we have a 64 side and an 88 side. There's going to be one on the 64 side on June 13th at 9 a.m. and then one at June 27th on the 88 side. Now the locations are to be determined, because they are going to bring 10 40-foot containers to bring heavy trash in. And so you either have the option of bringing it to the facility, which is to be determined, but they're also going to help canvass and find problem areas. So if we have seniors that just cannot take it, we're going to try to find volunteers to help pick up that trash for them and bring it to the facility. That's going to be coordinated by Precinct 2. So this is hopefully going to help. It's not going to be the end all be all solution, but if we can at least get a little bit of help and at least one way to be able to dispose of heavy trash, I'm hoping that just does well in our community. All right, so that is coming up. Be on the lookout for that. Oh yeah. There's also I also have a sign up that they can help too. So, so we'll get to that. But yes, you can talk to Amy and Clay. There's a lot of words on this screen, so I'm going to just kind of summarize what this is. We have primary runoffs that are coming at the end of this month. And I just want to share, I hear you. We have been voting, I swear, for every 6 months for the last 2 years. I get it. I understand, but we have to keep going. Okay, we cannot stop now. So the ones that we need to be paying attention to specifically is the newly drawn Congressional District 18. Okay, so 18 did not used to come this far over. It now does, right? So that is between Christian Menifee and Al Green. We also are looking at Lieutenant Governor, has 2 individuals trying to get that Democrat position. The U.S. Senator between John Cornyn and Ken Paxton. The Attorney General, there's 2 for each Democrats and Republicans. The Railroad Commissioner, County Judge between Letitia Plummer and Anise Parker, as well as Warren Howell versus Orlando Sanchez. And then the District Clerk, which is Alex Maldonado and Danelle Jordan. Now, this is not an inclusive list. I highly suggest that you go to harrisvotes.com. Take a moment to review your ticket, review your ballot. Make sure you know who you're voting for, what it matters, and how that reflects you. So just take the time to do that. Early voting is May 18th through the 22nd, with the actual voting day on May 26th. We can also make sure that this is on socials, because again, it's a lot, but it's important. It's important that we get out and vote. All right, so everybody knows that there might be this small event called the World Cup coming up, right? I mean, I kid. So the World Cup is coming. Houston is one of the host cities. So there's a few things just to keep in mind, because there's been a lot of rumors and I'm trying to dispel as many of them as I can. So first and foremost, the host committee has taken over as of May 1st. You probably have seen some of the fencing come along in Edo, right? And so what we have learned is that there's not going to be any major thoroughfares closed as part of this. So Leland, Emancipation, Texas, all of those are staying open. The only roads that are expected to close are going to be right around Bastrop Park, which is right there next to the Dynamo Stadium, and it's only supposed to be closed temporarily. I think that there's some right there that are at Lamar and St. E that are a little problematic right now, but they are supposed to be just for the duration of this. For the Fan Fest, I think there was some concern that there's basically gonna be like a 24-hour party. For the Fan Fest, that's not true either. The Fan Fest is a free event that any of us can go to, and it's only gonna be open 90 minutes before and 90 minutes after the matches. All right, so if you're familiar with the World Cup, they don't play soccer 24 hours a day, and as the playoffs come in, they only have maybe 1 or 2 a day. So just keep that in mind as it comes through, that you're not gonna see that. And then also there's gonna be a clean zone effect, in effect, if that probably doesn't sound anything. Right now, you saw NRG Stadium had to remove the NRG branding. It's part of the FIFA guidelines. There cannot be any branding. So that means Shell Energy Stadium and Dyken Park will have their names covered for the duration of this event. So it's gonna look weird. It's temporary, all right? So just make sure y'all know that there's nothing wrong. It's just part of working with FIFA and their rules. It's very similar to the Olympics. Any questions that I can try to answer? All right, perfect. So we're doing a lot of really cool stuff with the super neighborhood. Part of it is this trash pickup. We've got other things that are brewing in the works. We've got a youth advisory committee that we're working with now. And we just are doing transportation advocacy. We're looking at quality of life, parks and green space, and community outreach. So if you are interested in participating in any of those, or in the cleanups, or if you just want to stay involved and just kind of like be on the email list and just kind of hear about it, that's great. So if you want to sign up for it, the QR code is here to do that. Or you can just come talk to one of us. We can give you that contact info. And I will say that the next meeting on May 27th is going to talk about Telephone Road. We went to the TERS meeting today, and they're talking about the design and how there's still some feedback about it. So they have agreed to do a community meeting at the Magnolia Multi-Service Center as part of our super neighborhood meeting. So if you have an opinion on that, or you just want to learn about it, you're welcome to go. They're supposed to be providing food, and it's going to be a great event. So we're happy to have anybody go and be a part of that conversation. Stay out of the way. You know, that surprised me, but we're going to do it. It's going to be good. It's going to be great. All right, so y'all can believe it. Look at the time. We're gonna go, so we've got the Harrisburg Hike and Bike Trail Cleanup. We have the East Side HPD PIP meeting that's on May 18th. And if y'all have not been to a PIP meeting, I highly suggest it. That's where you get to sit down with the officers at those specific locations. South Central is mostly the one that we deal with. The East Side is also involved as well in the further east part of our civic association. They usually have fantastic speakers. So May 18th is this East Side PIP. May 19th is HPD South Central. And then our super neighborhood meeting is on the 27th, and our Eastwood meeting is on June 1st, right back here. So with that, are there any announcements that anybody has from the floor? Sure. That's a good question. So as part of the super neighborhood meeting now, so if y'all didn't know, Metro Police opened up a new substation across from the Greyhound. So they are now going to come monthly to our super neighborhood meetings to give stats. So they will start that next month. Actually, this month, I should say. Yes. Sure. All right, so just a little bit about that so everybody can hear, because I know that it can be difficult to hear. We've been working really hard to get minimum lot size established on our lots. And what that does is it basically says this lot on this block cannot be subdivided for townhouse development into individual houses. And I think it comes down to like 1,500 feet or something like that. I have to average it out based on. Yeah. At least,
Twice.
right.
Lots.
Yep. So at least twice what that lot size is. So in that is just help it. It's not foolproof, okay? But it is a way to help prevent townhome proliferation in a neighborhood with all single family houses. Paul was just talking about also, if you do want to do this, fantastic, we can help guide you in that direction. But then also adding what they call minimum building lines. That's just to help prevent, like, if y'all been to the Heights, they've got like the lot line to lot line developments that can be just difficult to work with. We're just trying to keep the character of the neighborhood.
I was the one with the application probably that you were talking about, so, yeah, I'm happy to chat with you guys, but I'm getting ready to put an application for Bella Street.
Okay,
So we got 2 townhouses going up basically directly across from, my house.
so let's get the rest of the block covered.
So,
Yeah, and you can actually go online and find out if your block is covered. I actually have it on the Sleeper Neighborhood website that you can go click it and check it. And just see if your block is covered. If not, we can help at least tell you what to do next and work you through those processes. I can't volunteer Paul to do all of them, but he can at least guide you in that direction. He's done plenty of them, and we're working through some renewals right now, which should hopefully be good for 40 years, which is what I'm hoping. But that is really helpful just to help prevent the townhome proliferation. It's not the silver bullet, but it does help quite a bit. Any other announcements? Yeah.
Well, I want to say thank you to everybody who brought plants to our plant exchange at Spring Fiesta this third year that we've had people bring stuff that's extra in the garden, and it's been a big hit. So if you like it, we like to keep that tradition going, and y'all maybe you can everybody bringing stuff. So that's great. Good job for the year. Hope y'all got a lot of fun.
All right. Any other announcements, thoughts, comments, anything we missed? Anything we should cover next time? Yeah. We have not, but that had extensive coverage, and I know that the super neighborhood did get involved lightly, because it's technically out of both of the boundaries, but I know that from what I understand, that lot was kind of sold out from underneath a lot of people. A lot of people had no idea that it was coming. And because it is a tenant for 10 years without the landlord actually having reason to kick them out, like they cannot be legally forced out. So what we're just trying to do is what everybody is trying to do now is just do best we can to keep it safe and keep it clean and do what we can from that perspective, because legally that's like the best we can do on that front.
I saw that veteran piece.
Yep. It's not, but I mean, everybody is trying on that front, because it was very, very sudden that it just showed up one day. And I know that there's a problem with the Greyhound buses idling on Capitol Street. I know that there's lots of conversations about the businesses on Harrisburg that are struggling, with people coming in and transients coming in and out and doing things that maybe they shouldn't be doing. And then talking to the various teams about unhoused, I think that there's a very large portion of unhoused that are not from Houston, that they're just being sent to Houston. And so they're working on getting them IDs and sending them back home. And so that's one of the initiatives. I know that there's many, and I know that 419 Emancipation is part of that solution, where they actually can go to a triage center, determine what the issue or issues are, and then get them routed into the right direction. Depending on how you feel about that, I think the idea is that, humans shouldn't be living on a street. I think that's kind of how that goes, but I know that there's lots of opinions on that. I hope that answers your question. That was a very long-winded answer.
Greyhound?
Greyhound. The Greyhound station that used to be in Midtown.
Greyhound.
Yes,
Greyhound.
yes.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
That is at the 7,000 block of Harrisburg.
That's not the one that's on Main Street.
That one closed and is now on Harrisburg.
Harrisburg is still there.
Yes. And this isn't the bus terminal that was there. This is the actual Greyhound. The Greyhound in Midtown closed and now is there. And they're opening another bus terminal, I think, across the street. They're opening another bus terminal across the street, across Harrisburg too.
Do you guys have any information about what's gonna happen with that development on 7-Eleven?
That, from what I understand, is from TERS 24, which is the Convention District TERS. They are talking about making that into a combination of student housing with businesses on the first floor. Don't have a timeline on it, but it does include making improvements on Coyle Street, Hushin, Milby, and all of that area there, including improved streets, drainage, sidewalks, and trees. That was the last plan that I heard. I'm supposed to be attending their meeting actually in a couple weeks for something else, but that's what they have said is going to happen there.
I saw it looked like for sale sign went back up after should be, didn't do whatever they're supposed to do. I mean, I know probably a lot of people are concerned about bringing in more people to live with the Kroger that we got right there. Because, you know, it's getting more and more crowded.
Yeah. Sure. Yep, I think that this is supposed to be student housing, which is a little different. I'm down. I think it's great.
Are you talking about the old finger furniture?
That's correct, yes.
There's some, there is plans with that?
That's what the TERS 24 said, is that they're gonna put a student housing there.
Low income now.
Student housing, yes, not low income housing.
I'm just saying that.
Might be. All right, anything else, y'all? All right, cool. So with that, we get time to hang out with each other for a little bit. We do need to be out of here by about 8 o'clock. So if you want to say hello to your neighbors and talk and enjoy yourselves, have fun. I call this meeting adjourned. Thank you.